Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am out of breath. Our own Luis Mota, a.k.a. Naka, just proposed to his girlfriend on the field before the game as we are underway. You'll have to forgive me, I sprinted all the way back upstairs. As we are quickly underway, Dodo Lopez now with it, looking for Luis Mota. I'm sure his emotions are all over the place right now, as almost a quick goal for Naka. Dodo Lopez for Naranjo. Naranjo for Naka, he misses. Right on the doorstep. As Dos Santos comes away with it. Turns it over for Dudu Cruz. Quite a start here for the SeaWolves. In more ways than one. J.C. Henson into the game now. Fernando Cortez now with the ball. Gets it off for Jeff Machad. Machad surveying the field. Gets it off for Henson, who back for Fernando Cortez. Had quite a game for himself. Yes, he let up 8 goals, but made some very key saves. Could have been a lot worse and kept Orlando in it. They're only down 1 at the end of it. Here's Jeff Machad. Plays it through. Poked away. Henson almost there for it. Donatelli now with it. Intercepted for Machad. Here's Henson. Leaves it off for Machad. Woo. Eduardo Cruz now with it. Mota plays it back. Eduardo Cruz for Jeff Machad. 2 goals and assists to his credit. He's been on quite a form since joining the SeaWolves back in December. One of his first games, in fact, was against this Baltimore Blast team, as there is one of the former SeaWolves players, Richard Schmerman, knocked out by Rodrigo Kaufman. As we can see, Orlando debuting their new black unis tonight. All black Nike unis, brand new for this game. One big missing piece, or two I should say, for Orlando. Rafa Tobias, as well as Guy Ribeiro, 2 target forwards. So Orlando currently with really only 1 target forward in Daniel Jackson, and in another way, Rodrigo Kaufman on the roster today. So SeaWolves may struggle a little bit early on to find some goals off the wall. Poked away by Naranjo. There's Mello. Here's JT Thomas now. Naranjo closes in. Played back. Jackson gets it loose as Kaufman tries to flick it on. And it only goes to Mello. Now Schmerman with it. Schmerman quickly off, and in comes another former SeaWolf player, Mike Da Silva. Da Silva debuted his first MASL game and scored 2 goals while having a stomach bug. He was puking on the side of the field after he came off every 30 seconds and still managed to score a brace. Here's Daniel Jackson. Down the line it goes. Rodrigo Kaufman running under it. As Dos Santos plays it simply back. As William Van Zella is in goal. Zierhofer, the last time these two teams played, was the man in goal. So a little bit of a different look in terms of goalkeeper, as saved by Cortez. And now Naka is away 1-on-3 and manages to meg Dos Santos, but inevitably turns the ball over until Dudu Cruz steps in. Dos Santos for Keita. Da Silva now. Mike Da Silva right off the post. Henson has it taken away. A frenzied start for both teams as we're just about almost 5 minutes into this first quarter. Dos Santos tries the bike, just misses. Miscommunication though, and it's a goal for Richard Schmerman. And Schmerman, the class individual he is, no celebration for him as he scores against his former team, but miscommunication between Cortez and Cruz adds up to an easy goal for Schmerman as the Blast lead it early 1-0. Back underway here, 1-0 to the away side. Here's Mashad now with it. Down the line, and that goes out of play, right off the top of the wall. We wait for the Blast to put things back underway. Down the wall it goes. Nascimento plays it away. Shot from Thomas is blocked. Chested down by Naka, and now Naranjo has Dodo Lopez, and Naka to his right, to his left. Naka shoots off the wall, comes off for Lopez, but Schmerman able to get it away for the moment. Tapped away by Vanzella, headed back. It's loose, poked up in the air. Schmerman heads it away. Now Lopez settles under it, and it's turned over. Somehow, a crazy sequence does not result in a goal. Vanzella had the ball poked out of his hands. The ball went just about everywhere around goal, but in. Here's Keita. Off for Dos Santos now. Down the line it goes. De Silva holds up play. Battling against Nascimento. Here's Mello. He's got Keita in the middle, who shifts away. Pereira now for Dos Santos. Shot from distance, blocked by Naranjo. Now it's a 3-on-3 break for the SeaWolves. Mashad to his right, Kaufman to his left. He opts for Mashad. Takes a weird bounce off the boards, as you do, and it's cleared away. That one will be interfered with by a fan. Was going out anyways, so we'll call it an out of bounds and SeaWolves ball. Mashad. Here's Cruz now. Cortez now with it. Looking for options downfield. Henson is there, flicks it on. Kaufman running onto it. Popped up in the air. Donatelli chests it down. Heavy chest though. Options closing quick as Schmerman still has it. It's dispossessed. Henson with it. Henson shot blocked and easily for Vanzella. Rolled out for Dos Santos. Has no real pressure for the SeaWolves. Henson marking Keita. Vanzella back with it. He crosses the yellow line. Down the line he goes. Daniel Jackson is there, but so is Vinny Dantas. Dantas' shot is saved by Cortez. That one popped up off the boards, and that one's going to be right for the SeaWolves. Mashad restarts. Off for Cruz. Down the line looking for Dodo Lopez. It's Rodolfo. Gets it off for Naranjo. Naranjo, he's double teamed. Naranjo's still with it. Somehow Naranjo sticking with it. Has it dispossessed and tripped up by Dudu Cruz. All the way up and over it goes. And we will have a timeout with 7:33 left to go in this first quarter. 1-0 in favor of the road team, the Baltimore Blast. Stick around, stay tuned. We'll be back in a few seconds. Back underway here as Fernando Cortez plays it off for Jeff Michaud. 1-0 our score, 7:27 left to go in this first quarter. Orlando in an early hole, and almost again as a costly turnover was the result of the Blast's first goal. Now Jeff Michaud plays it forward for Rodrigo Kaufman. He tries a shot. It's blocked. De Silva with it. Taken away is Naranjo. Schmerman comes away. It's loose again. Naranjo comes away with it. Naranjo scuffs the shot up into the stands. Where he started in here for Dos Santos. It's Victor France, one of his first touches of the game. Donatelli down the line, Vinny Dantas, who scored 6 goals against this SeaWolves team out of his total of 20. Here's Henson as SeaWolves managed to get away from a sticky situation. Naka going for the ball, trips up Dantas, but clean challenge. Henson now with it. And that's going to be a goal. Another costly turnover for Orlando results in another goal for Baltimore as Dos Santos is now down. And the goal becomes moot at this point, but either way, Victor France, I believe, will be credited with the goal. Another former SeaWolf player ends up on the tally. Henson putting Cortez in a very sticky situation, and Zay was right there to knock it through. So 2 turnovers for the SeaWolves and 2 goals for the Blast. Not the greatest start for Tom Troxler's side here tonight. And we're back underway. Abdul Az-Zubaydi, his first ever MASL appearance. He is in the game. The native of Baghdad, Iraq. Came over to the States about 4 or 5 years ago. Played for some of the best clubs in Iraq in the youth level and has now made it all the way out here. He was on the SeaWolves 2 team while working full-time, and as he continues to work his day job, he plays here at night. Just signed the other day. As Al-Zubaydi running down, and will now track back as Vanzella will play it. Here's Mello. Mello back. Keita now. Here's Pereira. Skins Dodo Lopez, and Lopez gets the elbow up and is called for the foul. So free kick coming for the Baltimore Blast. 5:14 left to go in this first quarter. 2-0 our score. Here is Tony Donatelli. Keita, one shot, off the wall, popped up by Naranjo. Lopez able to clear the way for the moment. Pereira is sitting under it. And that goes out of play. De Silva now takes it quickly, and someone waiting to pick up the ball. Dudu Cruz gets past 2 defenders. Now off for J.C. Henson. Michaud. Here for Daniel Jackson. Jackson has signed for Tormenta in USL League One. This is his last game before he heads off to preseason with the outdoor team. Donatelli sits under it, but Michaud able to get it, and Nascimento heads it back for Cortez. Michaud back for Nascimento. Cortez, pressure coming from Baltimore. Immediate turnover. Michaud steps in, gets it off for Henson. Henson against Keita, leaves it off, and Orlando will get something going offensively. Here is Kaufman off the boards. Chested down by Jackson. It falls for Michaud. He scuffs it over the bar and off the window up top. Hands in head moment for Jeff Michaud as he had the space and time to knock it in and just leaned back a little too much on that. Vanzella will throw this one deep. Dantas is up, so is Nascimento. Right down in midfield, a collision. And again, Orlando getting it downfield. Schmerman against Kaufman. It's Vanzella able to get it off from Melo. Here's Diesel off for Vanzella as he gets it for Schmerman. Picks his head up and gets it off for Zay, but it's a bit of a miss hit. Two former teammates here in Orlando, once again teammates in Baltimore. Zay struggled with injuries last season here in Orlando and struggled with some visa issues early on in the season, but has finally made it back and is finally playing games for this Blast team who has really needed some spark offensively. Vinny Dantas has done his bit. He's one of the top 10 goal scorers in the league right now. But Zay is just one of those creative players that you really don't know you miss until he's gone. And he brings a huge and different dynamic for this Blast team. So here in Orlando, we only got a taste of what Zay can do. His last full season was back in Cedar Rapids. Here is Jeff Michaud off the wall. Only Blast players there as the aforementioned Victor France is there. Collision at the midfield. Naranjo fakes the shot with the left, goes with the left, and it knocked out of play. 2:28 left here in the first quarter. Still 2-0. And Naka back into the game. Al Zubaidi. Back for Mota. Cortez waiting for players to make moves. Someone needs to come up and help. And eventually, Dudu Cruz does. Eduardo back for Cortez. Quick 1-2. Just off target a little bit. Flicked through now. Running it down is Al Zubaidi. Abdullah knocks it up in the air. Taken down, but it's going to be a shot and a save by Cortez as he just denies Lucas Roque. What a save by Fernando Cortez. But another costly turnover for Orlando. As we wait to get things underway. Blocked. Here's Schmerman. Schmerman shot off the post. Loose and grabbed by Cortez. And Darren Bell getting into it just a little bit with Dantas. Bell, not the tallest. And, well, Dantas is one of the tallest out here on the field, the biggest and the tallest. Well, either way, we get underway once again. Michaud plays it through, turned over, takes a deflection off Naka's arm. Not intentional by any means, but a handball nonetheless. So with 1:20 to go, it'll be a free kick for the Blast. Quickly taken. Keita now gets past Naranjo. Keita off for Pereira. He'll shepherd it to midfield. Keita now comes to the other side against Mashad. Keita fakes the shot, sends Mashad, and it's going to go in. Ibrahima Keita, the quick moves to send Jeff Mashad past him, create a tiny opening of space. And Keita has found the third for the Blast. 3-0 here in the first with a minute and change. So Orlando struggling to find their offense, missing two of their key offensive pieces in Rafa Tobias and Guy Ribeiro. As of right now, Rodrigo Kaufman is playing the out-and-out target forward. Did not play last game. Meanwhile, one of Orlando's more recent signings not here today. He was available but was not able to dress. So we'll get to him at the beginning of the second quarter, but until then we'll finish out this first with Richard Schmerman now. Donatelli. Cruz pressuring. Chipped up. Jackson heads it down for Schmerman. And Schmerman will shepherd it back. Donatelli chips it through. Dos Santos finds himself in an attacking area. 22 seconds. Schmerman, he's dangerous from distance. Flies it off for Pereira. All the way back for Vanzella. One more shot to get another one on the board, and that one will trail out of play and into the drink cartridge. So with 8 seconds left, Orlando will try and get something into the attacking phase, but in all likelihood will have a 3-0 scoreline here at half. Quickly restarted. Jackson, Al-Zubaydi turned over. 5 seconds to go. Schmerman. Here's Pereira. Chested down, poked up in the air, and that will do it for the first half. First quarter, shall I say. 3-0 in favor of the Baltimore Blast. We'll step away for just a moment, come back with the second quarter here on MASL TV. You're watching the Orlando SeaWolves and Baltimore Blast here from the Silver Spurs Arena in beautiful Kissimmee, Florida. And the first quarter all wrapped up. Teams will switch sides, and we will get the second underway. Once again, from the Silver Spurs Arena here in Orlando, or specifically Kissimmee, Florida, just south of downtown Orlando and Disney and Universal and SeaWorld and Legoland and all the places you would take your kids. We have some major arena soccer league action as the SeaWolves trail 3-0. Quickly down the line, Victor France, Dantas, excellent ball movement and an excellent breakup by Rafa Nascimento. Victor France pokes it away. As some renewed energy for the Blast. They've come out really hunting. Now they've settled things back. Diesel plays it back. Now with Keita on the near side. Down the line it goes, looking for Dantas. Naka able to poke it away. Cortez. Keita has it taken down. Big difference from the last time these two teams played to this time is Fernando Cortez is getting constant pressure from this Blast front line. Also the additions of a few other SeaWolves players to the Blast roster maybe makes a little bit of a difference as well. I was talking to Richard Schmerman and Mike De Silva before the game. They were excited to come back very soon after they were traded away, and all things considered, happy to see their former teammates again. Dos Santos running with Lopez. Back for Vanzella. And in talking to those guys, I found out they leave tomorrow morning, so not much of a respite from the cold, unfortunately, as I'm sure they're enjoying this cooler Florida weather. It's cold for here and us natural Floridians, but for most people, this is probably a balmy winter. A nice 66 degrees outside right now. So meanwhile, in some parts of the country, it's completely snowed in. So we always appreciate the weather that we get here in Central Florida. Quickly played. Donatelli across the face, taken away by Lopez. He's looking for Naka, foot race with Keita. Keita, great little touch to secure the ball, and will settle things down. Naka, the only one forward for Orlando, as Mike Diesel now with it. Naka throwing his hands up in frustration, as now Mello, challenged by Mashad. De Silva knocks it against the wall. It's Mike looking opposite side for Keita. Cruz sent flying by Mello. Here's Dos Santos on the far side. No one really marking him. De Silva into the box. Played back for Pereira. Pereira now for Mello. Down again. De Silva off the wall. Mashad able to clear it away, at least for the moment. Will it stay in play? It will not. Right at the Simmons Law Group. So we'll have a restart right from there. Down it goes. Donatelli takes it off the wall. Henson shields him off. Gets it off for Cortez. Poke. And off the SeaWolves go, only to be interrupted. Dos Santos now back at midfield. It's with Pereira. Dantas holding things up. Lays it off for Donatelli, just missing. Right off the far post. Great setup by Dantas for Donatelli, but could not finish it off. Remains 3-0 here with 11:35 left to go in the second quarter. Donatelli completely unmarked. Orlando really in 6s and 7s here as Donatelli figures out the 1-2. And Tony Donatelli makes it 4-0 to the Baltimore Blast. Orlando completely broken down defensively. No one challenging Donatelli as he came off. It's a simple 1-2 that you practice every single day of the week. And you really got to question Orlando's defense right now. It's been, it has been questionable to say the least. Orlando really not looking to be any threat going forward outside of the first couple seconds of the game. and have since looked a bit apathetic, a bit lethargic, a bit out of it. Someone needs to give this team a big kick in the pants. You just hope it doesn't get too out of hand before halftime when Tom Traxler is able to address his team. At the very least, a timeout coming up soon for media would help things out as Naranjo cutting forward. No one helping out Kevin Naranjo, as Daniel Jackson at least is able to set things back for Cortez. Right into the midfield, Naranjo. Cortez now. Kevin plays it off the boards for Al-Zubaydi. Here's Jackson. Jackson's got a bit of space. Lays it off for Nascimento, who tries the shot and misses wide. Right over everything for that one. Restarted here. It's off for Donatelli. Tony, Mike DeSilva is plenty wide open. 2-on-1, and DeSilva taken out by Al-Zubaydi. That's at the very least a free kick. So DeSilva found himself completely wide open. It was a 2-on-1 with no one back for Orlando. And I guess at the very least, it was just a foul. Questionably, maybe a blue card, but nothing given from the refs. Donatelli off the walls, and he'll chase after it. Plays it directly across. Here's a chance for JT Thomas. It just misses DeSilva's chest. Here's Donatelli. Schmerman here on the near side. Dos Santos with the ball. Dos Santos now plays it forward. DeSilva doing well to body up Al-Zubaydi. It's off the wall. SeaWolves players can't find the ball, but eventually Nascimento does. Jackson is down field, but no one sees him, as now Orlando will reset. At the very least, they'll be able to get a quick change on here. Lopez. Off for Cruz. Lopez off. Cruz able to keep it down. DeSilva marking. Off for Mashad. Here's Jeff. Looks for options forward. Doesn't find any. Leaves it off for Kevin Naranjo. Cruz. Naranjo goes down. DeSilva called for the foul. And Naranjo holding his face. Ref says it's a push in the back. Naranjo still clutching his face as he is down. Ref's checking on him to see if he's okay. Ooh, Mike DeSilva just went back and watched the replay on the YouTube stream, and bit of a collision there, to say the least. Mashad lays it through. It's intercepted, and that's a costly turnover for Orlando. Running forward are three Blast players. Thomas cutting inside, leaves it off, and intercepted by Naranjo, looking for Dantas. And excellent job by Kevin Naranjo just to seal that up and get things back in possession for the SeaWolves. Naranjo, one of the more underrated players for the SeaWolves team, as Darren Bell has it. Naranjo started as a trialist for this team, winning a roster spot at an open tryout. Earned his way to some playing time last year and has really gotten some opportunities here as ball comes back for Cortez. Lopez now with it. Here's Mashad. It's all the way back for Cortez. Stepping through is Cortez. He gets it off from Mashad. Here's Jeff on the run with Ibrahim Keita. Shot is smothered by Vanzella. Mashad scored 2 absolute bangers last Friday against the St. Louis Ambush. His second, much cleaner than the first. As my co-commentator for the night, Dennis Chin, said, put some sauce on the shot. Yeah, but both of those shots were with his right. That one earlier was with his left, so preferably you would want to get it on his right foot. Down the line, and a miscue with the changeover. Another turnover for Orlando. Melo now with it. Unmarked. Last second challenge. It's laid right off from Melo. Mashad able to head it down for Cortez, but Cortez rightfully angry as it just looked like no one knew where the ball was and then just stopped. 3 players for the SeaWolves. Now here's Cruz. 4-0 here, just under 7 minutes left in this first half. Here's Naka. Back for Cruz. Mashad now with it. Jeff looking. Nascimento now with it. Rafa plays it back. Cortez, quick little change. Darren Bell is out of the game. J.C. Henson is in. Mashad. Off for Naka. Lines up the shot, and well, that did not get the curve he wanted, and that will signify our first media timeout of this second quarter. 4-0 our score as the Blast lead the SeaWolves. We'll be right back. Ready to get things back underway with 6:11 left in this second quarter. The Blast leading the SeaWolves 4-0. Once again, my name's Austin David here from the Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee. As Orlando has struggled really on both ends of the floor thus far. Just looking for something consistent to get things going as Nascimento battling with De Silva. De Silva winning the battle, but losing the ball. Off for Dodo Lopez, but Keita able to come away with it. Dodo Lopez just missing the interception. Down the wall it goes. De Silva. De Silva really coming into his own, just needing some playing time. He was with the Milwaukee Wave last year as a practice squad player. Learned a lot from some of the best in the game. Came to Orlando, really started to show his stuff before heading off for Baltimore, and is starting to show everything that he has put together now on the field. As him and Vinny Dantas becoming a very dangerous combination. Have not seen Andrew Hoxie tonight as he's here but not playing, as that one's saved by Cortez. Here's Nascimento. Schmerman challenging. Off for Naranjo now. Down it goes. Dos Santos heads it down for Michaud. Here's Cruz. Dos Santos easily intercepts. And that one's going to go out of play. And fortunately for Orlando, as Dodo Lopez just looks a little bit winded right now. It's Michaud. Holds it in the midfield for Daniel Jackson. Under 2 minutes to go in this second quarter. as I'm sure Tom Traxler will have a lot to say in the locker room at the half. His team down 4 goals. Down but not out, as Orlando's still able, as they have shown at least last week, to make things working. Make things work offensively, as they scored 7 goals. Of course, missing 2 of their more potent offensive pieces tonight, which make things even more difficult. Vanzella blasts it off from Machad. Nascimento. Now it's almost turned over, but cleared out of play, and well out of play, as Pereira sunk his boot into the ball. Didn't want to play around with that one. 58.8 seconds. So we're under a minute. Cortez to Naranjo. A little bit of pressure coming here for Baltimore. It's Cortez looking for Naka, able to get it down. Here's Lopez. Off for Naranjo. 30 seconds. Al-Zubaydi. Cortez looking down, and that goes off the wall. Schmerman pops it up and out of play. Knocked out of play by Zay, and with 19 seconds to go, Orlando will restart it. Here is Nascimento. 10 seconds. Al-Zubaydi. SeaWolves got to do something. Chested down. And that will do it for the half. Right back for Cortez. Buzzer sounds. And an inauspicious first half for the SeaWolves. The beginning of the game started off with a beautiful proposal from Luis Mota, but since then it has been all but Baltimore's game. So we'll go ahead and take a break as the SeaWolves dancers come out for college night. We'll come back here in about 12 to 13 minutes with the rest of the second half of this Blast SeaWolves game. Stick around, stay tuned here on MASL TV. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the Silver Spurs Arena here in Kissimmee, Florida, as the Orlando SeaWolves trail the Baltimore Blast 4-0. It's one of the many games this season, or not many, but there have been a few here at home that Orlando has not been able to find their footing in the first half. And hopefully the second half bears more fruit, as it is not an insurmountable lead, but still a deficit for the home side. So we shall see how Tom Traxler's side will attack these next 30 minutes, as both teams have had a chance to talk with their coaches in the locker room, make some adjustments to their game plan, and, well, we'll see how it all turns out. And second half is officially underway. Ball quickly down to the opposite side of the field. Donatelli back for Dos Santos. As Adriano Dos Santos just wrestling it down. Here's William Vanzella. Dantas heads it down. Plenty wide open is Donatelli. Lines up the shot, fakes it. And now back for Dos Santos. It's been a theme of the game so far for the SeaWolves team. They've not marked too many as Cortez has made the save. There's just been too many wide open bodies. I'm sure Cortez is unhappy with that as well, as he's left out to dry in some instances, as Vinny Dantas is taken out by Mashad, and that's going to be a free kick. Now, I did mention Orlando's newer signing, and by newer I mean earlier today he was signed. Former Colombian national team and Colorado Rapids player Jaime Castrillon. Dantas off the wall, and the Blast will reset. Turned over here. Orlando's got a 3-on-2. Here's Naka. Naka off for Lopez. Lopez off the wall. Naranjo off the top. He just can't buy a goal this season. He has set up 3, but has not found one for himself, as Naranjo unable to finish that one off. Orlando catching Baltimore on a rare break. Kaufman holding up. Off for Darren Bell. Bell holding up. Now off for Nascimento. Back for Castrillon. He played for Independiente Medellin in Colombia from 2002 to 2008. Had a spell in China. Once Caldenas in Colombia as well, and finally made his way to MLS. Oh, right off the face of Victor France is Nascimento trying to clear it downfield. Turned over, and Victor France might have his revenge. He leaves it off for Schmerman, who misses. Schmerman off for France, punched away, at least for the moment. Here's Mello. France, Mello, back for France. Zay, Schmerman, poked and saved off the line by Jeff Mashad, still in play. Orlando can't clear their lines and finally do. And it'll be out off of Rodrigo Kaufman. SeaWolves counting their lucky stars they didn't concede a 5th there. As again, Orlando is not sharp today. Here's Mello. Fakes it. Jackson now with it. Loses his footing. Dos Santos goes down, and it's going to be another free kick. Lucas Roque was the one setting it up. Roque set up on the other side. Donatelli up top. Dantas right behind Melo. It'll be Dantas right off the wall, and that's got to hurt. Dantas with the powerful shot right off the wall. Is now a quick change coming for the Baltimore Blast. Michaud knocks it down. It's Naranjo now with it. Plays it forward and right in between the two SeaWolves defenders. Shot off the wall. Dantas comes away, at least for the moment. Now it's with Jackson. DJ battling against the boards. He's doubled up. Diesel will come away with it. Play it back for the Blast. Blast very much out here to prove a point, I would say. They have really taken it to this Orlando team. Donatelli tries to play it, and it's off of Cruz for not quite a corner, but at least a restart. As that ball is into the stands, so we will have to wait. Donatelli now right into the middle away by Cruz. Keita battling with Naranjo. Keita will play it all the way back for Vanzella in goal. It's Vanzella. Roque heads it down. Dos Santos tries the little flick. Al Zubaidi is there instead. Just the constant pressure from this Baltimore team has really set this SeaWolves team back offensively. But a quick restart here is Daniel Jackson now with it. Can't capitalize on it, though, is Al Zubaidi now with it. Back for Naranjo. Kevin. Al Zubaidi. Clearing out for Eduardo Cruz against Donatelli. Played down for Dodo Lopez, and it's down the line it goes. And the chip trying to catch Cortez off his line as Lucas Roque not quite on target. 11 minutes to go here in this third quarter as it is 4-2 Baltimore. Orlando shut down offensively after the first couple seconds. Here is Dodo Lopez denied by Vanzella. Just as I talk about Orlando's offense being stopped, they almost break the deadlock. Meanwhile, back the other way, here comes Baltimore. Laid off from Mello, cleared away by Al Zubaidi. Schmerman, no one around him as he will jog this one down. Vanzella. Mello. Into the midfield he goes, looking for De Silva. Plays it, chests it off the wall. Holding off Nascimento. Here's De Silva, the shot, saved by Cortez. A big palm from the SeaWolves goalkeeper. And Mello stops the counterattack as J.C. Henson had some room down the line. Restarting now is Mello back with it at midfield. Pereira now with him. So he'll leave it off for Dos Santos as De Silva just gets off. Quick reset for this Blast team. Vinny Dantas is back in. It's Donatelli looking for Dos Santos. Dantas unmarked in the middle. Al Zubaidi now comes into it. Al Zubaidi able to poke it away, and now Orlando. Not really too many numbers going forward as they'll hold things up. Dos Santos down off the wall, and in comes Vinny Dantas to put some pressure on. It's a much different Baltimore team than when we saw last here in Orlando. Of course, a big difference, along with many of the other ones I've already mentioned in this broadcast. They had already played the Florida Tropics, the best team in MASL to this point, the night before. And we're playing a second game of a back-to-back. This game, this team is fresh, new bodies, different players. Vanzella in goal. Meanwhile, Orlando, some of the pieces that won that game, they're playing for the other side right now. Jackson punched away. Here's Michaud. Off for Naranjo. Quick pass back for Eduardo Cruz. Looking for runners to come in. It's for Cortez instead. Here's Michaud. Cruz cuts in on his right. Shot off the wall. Follow up by Jackson, unable to finish. Still loose, and Orlando will continue with possession. Quickly now, Orlando down the field. Michaud has his pass intercepted. Vanzella tries the pass off the boards. That's popped up in the air. Schmerman able to take it for a moment. Naka comes away. Naka forced to play it back again. Naranjo into the midfield. It's Cortez back for Eduardo Cruz. Michaud now. Cruz. Here's Cortez. Cortez looking forward, finds Naranjo. He's able to poke it up to himself. Still with Kevin. He leaves it off for Naka. Shot off the boards. Follow up. Saved. Orlando just cannot buy a goal tonight. And now on the counterattack is Baltimore, knocked out of play by Jeff Michaud, but that will lead into a timeout. 6:47 to go here in the third quarter. Baltimore still with a 4-0 lead. No goals thus far here in the second half. We'll take a quick break. Be back in just a second here at the Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee on MASL TV. .647 left in the third quarter. Blast still leading 4-0. Orlando struggling to find something offensively, as this Blast defense has prevented 3 shots right in the mouth of goal. Vanzella and company doing quite well to keep these SeaWolves off the board. Ball down for Mike De Silva, battling with Al Zubaidi, and De Silva able to at least win the ball and continue with it. Dos Santos right into the midfield. Here's Dos Santos, fakes the shot, pulls it back. Pereira now. Darren Bell closing him down. And in comes Ryan Sandage, one of the other newer boys for the SeaWolves. He played for head coach Tom Traxler at Winter Park High School, played at University of West Florida, as well as Daytona State College. This is actually his first foray into indoor, as he's a career outdoor player. Schmerman back. Here's Melo. Dantas holds up play. Dantas battling with Naranjo, and Vinny, always a tough battle on the boards. And Orlando will win the free kick. It's played back for Cortez. It's now with Nascimento. Cortez now for Mashad. Nascimento now with it. Here's Cortez. Oh, France. Costly turnover for the SeaWolves. Can Mashad win it back? He cannot. Dantas comes away with it. Lopez almost wins it back. Dantas again for Vanzella. He plays it through for Victor France. Back with Vinny. Off for Schmerman now. Donatelli. Victor France is wide open. Able to hold up play. And Jeff Mashad, thankfully, is able to get back and at least prevent the wide open goal. Quick spins from Victor France as he'll play it back for Vanzella. Here's JT Thomas. Steps over the ball. And by steps over, I mean steps on and turns it over. Mashad. Quick drag back. Cortez now with Cruz. Seems like every time Orlando picks their head up, 1-2 players for Baltimore ready to pounce. Here's Thomas. Thomas right around Henson. Henson battling, and that he'll be called for the foul. Quickly restarted. Orlando not ready for it. As Roque's pass is knocked out of play, and it's going to be, I believe, a corner. So the SeaWolves will set things up. Shot off the line by Eduardo Cruz. And saved off of Roque's shot by Cortez. Luckily, Dudu Cruz sitting there on the line to knock away the very slow shot. Here's Naka. Naka's streak of scoring in every single game since December 21st is in jeopardy here, as is just about every other SeaWolves player. Looking for the first goal. Daniel Jackson with it. Taken away by Dos Santos. Back for Vanzella. Vanzella very calmly knocks it downfield. It's a 3-on-2. De Silva with it. Mashad able to get there in time. Here's Melo. Keita. Back for Dos Santos now. Silva down the line. Battling against Mashad. Tries to knock it, and it comes back for Cortez. Mashad. Naranjo settles it. Down for Lopez. Lopez with the flick on. Here's Naka. Naka just beat there by Ibrahima Keita. And back come the blast the other way. Dodo Lopez able to win it. Player down. Keita is down. SeaWolves continue to play on. Refs haven't called anything. And now, as soon as Baltimore wins possession back, they finally call it. But Ibrahima Keita is sitting right in the box in pain. Thankfully, Baltimore or Orlando, shall I say, didn't play anything into the box, or Keita would have just been a sitting duck. I understand the advantage rule from that aspect of things, but it really does seem like Keita is in quite a considerable amount of pain. Players and teammates having to help him up and off the field, as you hate to see that. Ibrahima Keita tracking back to stop Luis Mota from getting a possible first goal for the SeaWolves, and he pays the price for it, unfortunately, as Keita, very good overall player for this Baltimore team, is limping off the field and into the trainer's arms. Considerable amount of pain right now. Let's hope it's nothing too serious as the trainer works out his right leg. Looks like it might be an ankle somewhere around the foot. We'll continue to update as much as we can. Meanwhile, things will get back underway. Mashad plays it. Good one touch to Dudu Cruz. Step over from Eduardo against his former teammate, Victor France. Naranjo tries to play the one touch, and it instead comes for Dantas. Dantas down the line, running onto it, and just barely getting away is Orlando, at least for the moment. Dantas now with it. Dantas cuts it off for Mike Diesel. Across, Dantas trips up, and Orlando come away. And that's going to be a foul, as looks like Rodolfo Lopez got clipped on the pass, so Orlando at least will get the free kick after what would have been a turnover. 1:10 left to go in this third period, third quarter. Not much time left. Mashad with it, plays it for Naka. Down for Nascimento. Victor France pushing forward. Down looking for Daniel Jackson. Finally something offensively, and immediately turned right back over to Vanzella. Quick little overhead flick for Dos Santos. 35 seconds to go in this third quarter. No goals scored between either team. Sandage is in for Orlando. Nascimento marking. Stands in front of JT Thomas. Mashad just boots it downfield. 20 seconds to go. Here's Donatelli. Headed forward for Roque. And that's going to be a foul with 6.9. As Roque earning the free kick. We'll see what Donatelli and crew will decide to do. Here is Donatelli. He'll go off the boards. Not a bad idea as Dantas was there. 3 seconds. Donatelli off the boards, and it's in with just as the buzzer goes. The Blasts have scored. Orlando almost survive as JT Thomas knocks in the free ball off the board, and Orlando looked like they could have kept a clean sheet through the third quarter, but unfortunately for them, right at the buzzer, have let in the fifth. Well, with that, it's 5-0. We'll take a quick break, come back here for the fourth quarter. 15 minutes to go. Back underway here in the fourth quarter as Orlando trail Baltimore 5-0. Jamie Thomas scoring the 5th goal right at the end of the third quarter, as immediately Fernando Cortez pushing forward. Knocked up in the air as Vanzella able to come away with it. Here's Naka. Naka off the boards, knocked away as Dos Santos able to come away with it. Here's Dantas. Dantas just getting past Naranjo, but Cortez able to get to it at the very least. France. Thomas down the line. Held up by Dantas. Here's Jamie Thomas. Dos Santos now. Thomas once again. Right into the middle. Thomas with the quick 1-2. Can't control it. Has to pull back. Back for Dos Santos. Pereira. Here's Schmerman. Vanzella off the woodwork. And by woodwork, I mean the hanging light fixture above the... it's not quite above the... it's above the field. Not quite above the video board. Below the video board. A bit tricky here in this arena. Either way, it's top of the yellow line here. Restart for Orlando. Nascimento off for Darren Bell. Jackson. Naka tries the one-touch volley, just misses. Nascimento plays it back. DJ now flicks it for Bell. Comes back from Ishad. Naka. Cortez has come up as basically a 6th attacker now and most likely play the rest of the game like that. Mishad. Naka turned over. That's going to be knocked back for Cortez. See, he sits right at the midfield line. Cortez. All the way to the opposite side for Mishad. Bit of a heavy touch, but he's able to control it. Here's Cortez again. Back for Jeff. Jackson. He's got Mishad open on the opposite side. Passes a bit behind him. He tries the shot. It takes a few deflections as Nascimento comes away with it. Orlando holding possession here, and at the very least, controlling a bit of the tempo of the game. Nascimento plays it back. Defense for Baltimore is holding firm, however, is Naka back from a shot again. Jeff for Cortez. Fernando for Dudu Cruz now. Eduardo. Cortez. Fernando. Plays for Mishad. Bit tricky situation here for Orlando as they're able to push Cortez back. Still 4 numbers behind midfield. As now the 5th joins in. Naranjo. Shot is closed leg save by Vanzella. Shot again, Vanzella, this time with the hands. And that one's off of Naranjo and will be a free kick here for the Blast. Oh no, it's going to be a free kick for Orlando. It will. Looked like Naranjo touched it, but refs say he didn't as it was already going out. Sure, we'll go with that. Hard to judge on without replay, but we'll go with the referee's decision for this one. And again, Baltimore and Victor France pushing Orlando back continuously. Back and forth with Cruz and Cortez. Now finally Orlando making their foray into the front as Naka pushed down. De Silva able to come away with it. Victor France, it's knocked up. Here's a chance, one-on-one with Cortez. Cortez unable to keep it out. And Mello scores the 6th for Baltimore. So Mello with the 6th for Baltimore, and still zeros on the scoreboard for Orlando. Back underway. Naranjo down, easily caught by Vanzella and quickly restarted here. Naranjo comes in, just misses the ball, and here come the Baltimore Blast. All the way through, parried away by Cortez as Lopez able to come away with it. Renewed energy here for the Blast as Jamie Thomas, Vinny Dantas pressuring up front, Pereira with them. Here's Lopez, heavy touch, leaves it off for Dos Santos. Baltimore will take over. Pressure. Stuck right in the corner. Dos Santos still holding on. Baltimore able to escape as Vanzella comes away with it. Played forward for Dantas, and great control from Kevin Naranjo to keep it back for Orlando. And just as I say that, he turns the ball over. Dantas holds it up, back for Schmerman. Under 10 to go. Still a big goose egg on the scoreboard for Orlando. Naka able to disrupt Dos Santos' pass. It's off for Vanzella now. Popped up in the air. Donatelli settles underneath. Flicked on by Roque. Here's another chance for Baltimore. Top of the arc. Roque saved by Cortez. Now back with DJ. Nascimento. Henson. Here comes Cortez again. Right into the midfield line. Crosses. So Orlando looking for options. Michaud played back for Cortez. He back heels it, and that's going to be a goal. Poor turnover, and Roque scores from past midfield to make it 7-0 Baltimore. As I'm not sure what Fernando Cortez was thinking there. An easy turnover, and that was a spectacular goal from Roque as he actually scored it into the top corner. And everything just about going wrong for the SeaWolves tonight. Michaud down. Ryan Sandage, he's got a chance. Tries the one-touch volley, and that one goes out of play. Quick restart as Ryan Sandage almost had his first MASL goal. France into the middle as Vanzella restarts it. And again, Orlando caught napping. De Silva shot off the boards. France misses the easy sitter. A pass in the front of goal. Orlando SeaWolves playing dangerously with the ball. Finally, they get forward. Popped up in the air and headed down by Vanzella. Sandage able to get to it. Naranjo for Jackson. Jackson able to play it down nicely. And here's Michaud. Michaud passes it right behind Cruz. And De Silva right on it. Here's Cortez. Plays it for Cruz. Lopez into the game. Lopez off for Michaud. Here's Jeff. Off the boards. Sandage can't finish the follow-up, and it's going to be a timeout. 7:05 left, and Orlando just cannot buy anything at goal. We'll take a quick break, and Orlando looking for something offensively as they trail 7-0. And William Vanzella will throw things back underway as Rafa Nascimento will intercept. Toto Lopez right against the boards. We'll have it turned over. Schmerman from Dantas. Here is Vanzella. Gets it off for Vinny. Chests it down. Jamie Thomas. Here's Melo. He'll hold it up. Thomas. It's a frustrated Dos Santos slamming the door to the boards as he comes off the field. Here's Michaud. It's intercepted. Vanzella able to boot it downfield. Here's Jamie Thomas. It's a 3-on-2 as Thomas will pull it back. Melo. Played it off. Intercepted by Michaud. Naranjo now. Here's Cruz. Played through, looking for Michaud. Good idea, not quite able to get to it. Dantas being guarded by Naka. Vinny able to get it from Jamie Thomas. Knocked out of play by Naranjo. Quickly played through. Roque. Knocked back by Sandage and at least out of danger for the moment. 5:30 to go in this game, and Orlando shut out at the moment. Indoor shutouts don't happen very often, so Baltimore probably very keen to keep the scoreline at least the way it is. Maybe just hold the ball for the next 5 minutes. Try and get William Vanzella a very rare indoor shutout. That one goes out of play, and Vanzella a bit frustrated with himself there. To this point, it's been all Baltimore. 7 goals. 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. 20-6, Orlando is being outshot as of right now. Michaud will put things back underway for Eduardo Cruz. Played back. Quick one-touch passing here from Orlando's. Darren Bell just can't control it. Cruz will have to play it back for Cortez, so instead he'll actually get it off for Michaud. Sandage off the boards for Jackson. Sandage is right there. He's tripped up by Vanzella and could not get the shot away. He was in front of goal. If he could have at least put it anywhere, might have had a chance to score, but he just could not get the shot away. Now Bell back with it. Sandage tried to play it through by Michaud, and Jeff will actually win it back. And a collision between two SeaWolves players and a quick counterattack here for Baltimore. Here's Roque off the boards. Could not finish that one off. Al-Zubaydi now running with Daniel Jackson. Dos Santos is there. Jackson skirts past the defender, but Dos Santos is called for the foul. Four minutes to go. Orlando has a chance to get at least one on the board. Vanzella in his career, 2 shutouts in indoor soccer, one actually coming earlier this year. Cruz, Naka, followed up by Dodo Lopez and just could not keep it on target. Back on December 28th is the last time the Baltimore Blast shut out a team, which was the Rochester Lancers, a team that Orlando will play later this year. Shot from Mike DeSilva is off the board. 3:45 left to go in this one, 7-0. The last shutout Vanzella had, and this Baltimore team had, in fact, was an 8-0 win over Rochester. Victor France. Oh, silky skills from Victor France. Zay gets it off for De Silva now. It's Mike able to get it off for Diesel. Here is Mello. Schmerman into the game. Here's France. Schmerman. Mello now. Tries to get it off for Naranjo. Here's Mashad now into the midfield. Jeff, Naka. Eduardo Cruz, Mashad now with it. Cortez back for Cruz, minute 30. Naranjo. Here's Mashad. Mashad trying to get around. It's poked up in the air. Cruz! It's saved off the line! Orlando centimeters from their first and only goal of the game, and it is denied again. This Baltimore Blast team is selling it all out. Mashad lines up the shot. It's going to be deflected. Dos Santos plays it away with 40 seconds. Naka heads it down. Mashad. Down the line it goes. Lopez. Naranjo, 25 seconds. Down, it's Cruz. The header is over. "21 seconds. This may spell the end of the game. Victor France is there. Zay cuts inside. Fakes the shot. Shot is knocked away. Naranjo pops it up. 7 seconds to go, and Orlando will be shut out at home. 7-0. Baltimore taking this one. This is a night to forget for SeaWolves Nation, but a night to remember for Baltimore as they get their revenge. The only SeaWolves win this season came against Baltimore here at this arena. And now the SeaWolves' first ever shutout comes at the expense of Baltimore tonight. And not much more to say about that. An unfortunate result for the SeaWolves. But they'll be back at it 1 week from today against the San Diego Sockers. Kickoff for that one, 7:35, the only home game in the month of February. And with that, we'll end it. Thank you very much for tuning in to the only MASL game this evening here on this Thursday night. My name is Austin David. Thank you to our production crew, Simple Thought Productions, for everything tonight. And congrats to Luis Mota and his new fiancée. With that, thank you very much, and we will see you next time.